Well, it's official. President Trump has won yet again. He won against Venezuela. He's winning against Iran. And now he said that the next thing he's going to do, it's inevitable, is going to be taking Cuba. That's right. America just keeps on winning. American imperialism keeps on growing. And if you aren't with it, then you're against it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to another video. All I ask in return before we get into anything is for you guys to hit the like button. It really helps support the channel, and obviously subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get right into this because I think you're going to love it.
This action in the first place.
The president just told the UK a few days ago that he doesn't need their ships, and now he says he does.
The president spoke on that last night. He said that he wished the UK had stepped up sooner and quicker, but he continues to speak with our allies in Europe and is calling on them to do more, just as he did when he called on them to step up with respect to their defense spending in NATO. He's calling them to do more here, and I think you'll see that come to fruition.
So why does the president feel like he needs?
We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it? He'll be proud. Go ahead, tell him the story.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
what was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay, that's it was grim.
Said that we're nowhere near sending ground troops to the Middle East. Or we
I don't talk to people like you about that. I mean, why would I tell you I'm sending or not sending? I don't talk about military strategy. We're talking about. I mean, who would answer a question like that?
Do you have a comment on this?
What a stupid question.
And so we're talking to Cuba, but we're going to do Iran before Cuba.
And what is at risk?
And, you know,
for
people
Cuba?
have been waiting 50 years to hear this story with Cuba. When I left Palm Beach today, there were thousands of people on the road. I'm sure you saw them. And they were from Cuba and from Venezuela, all friendly.
And he's going to take it. He's going to take Cuba the way he took Venezuela and the way he's taken Iran. It's inevitable.
Like, as an example, in many cases, they're NATO countries. We're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. It's got an ocean in between us. Doesn't affect us, but we've helped them. It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the Strait open. That, by comparison, it's small because Iran has very little firepower left.
Yep. And if other countries aren't going to help, President Trump is going to pull the United States out of NATO, and that's going to be a geopolitical disaster for all of the other countries that cannot defend themselves, which is, last time I checked, pretty much every other country out there.
You know, all my life I've been hearing about the United States and Cuba. When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be a good honor. It's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders. You know, all my
Wow. I mean, that wasn't a Freudian slip. He didn't mean talking. He said taking. That is freaking awesome.
And secondly, sir, do you still plan to travel to Beijing at the end of this?
I don't know. We're working on that right now. We're speaking to China. I'd love to, but because of the war, I want to be here. I have to be here, I feel. And so we've requested that we delay it a month or so, and I'm looking forward to being with them. We have a very good relationship, but because of the war, there's no tricks to it either. It's not like, oh, gee, I'm waiting. It's very simple. We got a war going on. I think it's important that I be here. You know? So it could be that we delay it a little bit.
Wow. I mean, he's not messing around. And every other country, as much as they want to peacock, they don't really stand a chance against President Trump.
What about President Trump signing this fraud task force executive order with our vice president?
Yes, later this afternoon in the Oval Office, the president and the vice president will formally launch their executive order and their task force against fraud. This is another promise made and kept by President Trump. He announced this in his State of the Union address and announced that the vice president would be overseeing this task force. So this is really going to establish a whole of government effort to fight fraud at both the state and the federal level in every state across the country. We look at states like California and New York. We know there's been hundreds of billions of fraudulent schemes that have ripped off American taxpayers. So we're going to turn every page to find and identify this fraud, to prosecute the individuals who are engaged in it. This will be, again, a whole of government effort led by the vice president, and the president will be signing that in the Oval Office this afternoon.
Hell yeah, brother. Stop all the fraud. Start with the Somalians. Oh, man. This is awesome. Literally draining the swamp, right? Sticking to his promises.
But I want to bring you to something else that's happening, I believe, on March 31st to April 4th. It's supposed to be a meeting between President Trump and President Xi in Beijing. Is that in jeopardy, being that we have a war now in Iran?
I don't think the meeting is in jeopardy, but it's quite possible the meeting could be delayed. These are leader-to-leader conversations that are currently taking place. And if the trip is delayed, then, of course, we will provide those dates very soon. I know President Xi was very excited to welcome President Trump to Beijing, and I know President Trump looks forward to this trip. It's really just a matter of the timing. Of course, the president's utmost responsibility right now as commander-in-chief is to ensure the continued success of Operation Epic Fury, as he's doing 24/7 here at the White House and here at home. So we'll look forward to announcing those dates very soon.
Oh, this is awesome. America just keeps on winning. How can you not love this?
The White House is trying every day, Ainsley, and President Trump has been on the side of the American people in this fight since day one. He has consistently called on Democrats on Capitol Hill to do the right thing and fund the Department of Homeland Security. That's all we're asking for. We want FEMA to be paid. We have another storm rolling in the East Coast later this afternoon. Those workers going without pay. Again, TSA agents who do a thankless job at airports across the country are going without pay. And now American air travelers are being impacted by this. The Democrats are playing partisan politics, and they can't even tell you why. They have no good reason for it other than they are trying to object to everything that President Trump wants. But this is a good thing for the American people, of course, to keep the Department of Homeland Security open and fully funded. That's what President Trump and the White House is calling on Democrats to do. It's very simple. They just need to get back to Washington and actually do it.
And Carol,
freaking Democrats, they just ruin everything. The liberal ideology is just so toxic. It's parasitic. Can I say that?
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I have spoken to him. He's been on a scale of 0 to 10. I'd say he's been an 8. Not perfect, but it's France. We don't expect perfect.
Are you confident that France will help with the reopening of Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think he's going to help. I mean, I'll let you know. I spoke to him yesterday. I don't do a hard sell on them because my attitude is we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But it's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases, not because we need them, but because I want to find out how they react. Because I've been saying for years that if we ever did need them, they won't be there. Not all of them, but they won't be there. I was very surprised with the United Kingdom, because the United Kingdom, 2 weeks ago, I said, why don't you send some ships over? And he really didn't want to do it. I said, you don't want to do it. We've been with you. You're our oldest ally. And we spend a lot of money on NATO and all of these things to protect you.
This is it, by the way. This is the final straw for President Trump and most Americans. It's put up or shut up. America has looked after and defended so many countries around the world. More than half of NATO's contribution is funded by the United States. Other countries have been taking advantage of it. Look at the relationship it's had with Canada. That's why you have President Trump saying, we're going to take Canada. They can't defend themselves. The 51st state, right? Because Canada's been a bad neighbor to the United States, not playing ball, not playing game, not putting money into defenses, not meeting the 2% minimum contribution requirement, not optional minimum. The minimum requirement to be part of NATO is 2% GDP. Canada's failed to do that for pretty much ever, and now it's bumped up to 4 or 5%. So that's just one country, right? And so many other countries were not funding enough into defense, and it's now put up or shut up, right? And this is really going to be a massive pivotal moment for the world if they're not willing to support the United States.
I mean, we're protecting them. We're working with them on Ukraine. Ukraine's thousands of miles away, separated by a vast ocean. We don't have to do that, but we did it. Well, Biden did it. I mean, I have to be honest with you. Biden got taken to the cleaners. But we worked with them in Ukraine. We don't need to work with them in Ukraine. And then they tell us that we have a mine ship around, and they don't want to do it. I think it's terrible. No, I was very surprised. I told him, we requested 2 aircraft carriers, which they had, and he didn't really want to do it. And then right after the war essentially ended, meaning they were obliterated, he said, I would like to send the aircraft carriers. I said, I don't need them after the war has ended and won. I need it before the war. So I was very upset with, not upset, I was not happy with the UK. I think they'll be involved, yeah, maybe. But they should be involved enthusiastically. We've been protecting these countries for years with NATO, because NATO is us. You can ask Putin. Putin fears us. He has no fear of Europe whatsoever. He fears the United States of America and the military that was built by me in the first term.
I mean, how can you disagree with that? Those are straight facts. America is really coming out, proving that it's got the bigger dong than everybody else. And if you aren't willing to play ball, then it's going to cost you down the road. America has been protecting so many countries and has been dominating with imperialism for so many years, and they're not about to lose, right? Can I say that? Are you allowed to actually stand with the United States and be like, you know what? I want America to keep winning. I want imperialism for the United States to grow, because there is no real kumbaya hakuna matata in the world. It's peace through strength. We've seen that. It's human nature. The big dog stays on top, and everyone tries to claw at it and take them down. And even America's allies are trying to take America down, like Canada, like France, like the UK. And I mean, if they aren't willing to support President Trump right now in the United States, it's going to come back to bite them in the ass. But that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking really good for America, for Trump moving forward. I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, which I think you did, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in another one. Bye for now.